Hey cousins, welcome back to the channel. It's your girl Chrissy Pips. Now this is week 2 of our Chrissy Pips challenges, and all of these challenges are to help increase your superpowers, right? Last week we did touch on the Pomodoro method, which is a method that was devised, or a technique that was devised to help you become more productive. This week we're going to go into something a little bit different, okay? Now as always, if you're here, you're interested, so let's get into it. Now, have you ever had those days where you wake up and everything is like blah, like mundane, the day-to-day, the everyday, right? And sometimes you like beat yourself up because you're not being as productive as you would like to be, right? Well, sometimes when that happens, that means that you've just entered like a mental rut, right? So it's just like a state of mind where you feel like you are, like you've lost your purpose. You don't have the motivation. You feel stuck, right? And doing anything that you like put on your to-do list that day seems a little bit more difficult than normal, right? And this can last for like a few days, a few weeks. But if it is lasting for like a prolonged period of time, for like a few months, or some people even experience this for a few years, I would definitely say reach out to a professional, because if you are stuck in a mental rut for a very long period of time, it's not really a rut. It could be signs of depression and things like that. So I would definitely recommend reaching out to a physician if you've been in this state of mind that I'm describing in today's video for a prolonged period of time. Okay? But the tips that we're going to go over today are going to help you out. So there's a few different reasons why you could get caught in a rut. It typically happens to people who have higher expectations for themselves. They're very goal oriented. They work very hard. What happens is they work too hard for too long. Okay, and that's why I tell everybody, like, I have scheduled breaks and I have scheduled naps in my schedule. I have days where I'm purposely not doing anything productive because I need to give myself that mental break, like that time to relax and refresh. It really just happens to people who have that I'm just gonna go get it thing, and they forget to take breaks. They forget to listen to their body. Like, your body tells you when you need to take a break. Your mind tells you when you need to take a break. And if you found yourself in a rut after you've been killing it, it's because your body and your mind is telling you, like, hey, excuse me, I need a little attention and I don't need to work. Hi, I'm your brain. Thanks. So listen, what I don't want you to feel like is that taking a break or taking a day off or relaxing is not productive. Taking care of your health is extremely productive. It's extremely integral to your success. And sometimes your health means not working. Sometimes it means relaxing, right? In order for you to, like with the Pomodoro method, we talked about, what if you had to run on the treadmill for 2 hours? If you know you have to run on a treadmill for 2 hours, but 1 hour in, I give you a break for 15 minutes. On your break, what are you going to do? Are you going to run up and down the stairs? Are you going to jump rope? Are you going to do some jumping jacks? You're probably not, because you know that you have to run for another hour. So it's the same thing for your productivity, right? We talked about it with the method where you're taking breaks of 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 10-minute intervals, but doing the prolonged week after week after week after week of just killing it is actually something, it's a longer version of that treadmill, right? You kind of need to stop and take a break that's actually a break, that doesn't involve any work, that maybe involves you going out to go get your favorite ice cream, right? Take a break, because if you don't take breaks, when you have these intervals of success, when you have these intervals of productivity, you're gonna burn out. And that's the last thing that you want when you have goals, when you're trying to actually you know, accomplish stuff. And then what the thing is too is you need to make it a personal point to not beat yourself up when you take these breaks, when you take the time off. It's important for you to do weekend getaways, especially if you have a relationship with either your significant other or your children. It's extremely important to take time off to be with them, okay? Because I'm guilty of it. I can get to a point where I work and work and work and work and work, and then I forget about everything else. And everybody's looking at me crazy like, you don't have time for us, so we're just going to go do our own thing. And then you feel left out. Man, is that crazy, right? So I need you to not like torture yourself for taking it easy, okay? Just don't beat yourself up, okay? Because what happens is if you start beating yourself up for taking breaks, it starts to weigh on you mentally. You start saying like, I should be working, I should be getting this knocked out, I should be doing this, and I had this to do, and I got to go to this meeting. But we are human. We don't have this infinitesimal amount of energy, mental, physical, or otherwise. That's why we have to sleep, right? Don't beat yourself up when you decide to take time off. Give yourself a logical reason to take the break, okay? Like in my logical reason for taking a break is because I'm resting, and doing fun things will give me the energy and the ability to be more productive when I get back to work. And that's the logic that I have behind it. So while I'm taking a break, it's like I don't feel bad about taking breaks. Like, you know what? I want to go and I don't want to cook today because I'm taking an actual break. I don't want to like record any content. I don't want to do anything for social media. I don't want to create any content for like crypto or anything. What I want to do is nothing. I want to stay in my PJs and my fluffy robe, and I want to actually relax so that I can get back at it and be fully refreshed. Okay? It's extremely important for us to take the time out. Remember before when we talked about physiology? We talked about physiology in the last video because your physiology has a lot to do with your productivity. It also has a lot to do with everything else, okay? If you are like being active all day, you're working all day, you want to take those breaks. Exercise is actually going to help you, but exercise actually helps you to create, or let's say it differently. So incorporating a regular exercise regimen into your schedule is actually going to help your mental fortitude as well. Okay? Exercise increases levels of serotonin, neuroepinephrine, and dopamine. And all of those are very important, like chemicals that your body produces that help balance your emotions. Okay? So because of that, your exercise regimen is actually very integral to your mental health. Okay? Have you guys seen those videos on Instagram where you see it looks like a grumpy old man who's saying, I'm getting up early and I'm taking a stupid walk for my stupid mental health? Well, that's kind of like, if you need to think about it that way, think about it that way. Like if you need to start and that's your motivator, just do it. Okay? Like take it. And I'm not talking about like getting up and bench pressing and jumping jack, like 50,000 jumping jacks a day. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying just get up, get out, and get moving, right? People who are depressed, and I'm speaking from experience. When I was going through depression, I was not physically active. And it was like the onset of my depression is when I started to really notice that I wasn't active anymore. For those of you who've got a chance to like meet me or see me in person, or if you've heard me talk about it on social media, y'all know I coach girls volleyball, I play softball, I like to just go on walks with my son so we can talk. And when I started to, like when depression really started to hit me, I started to notice afterwards, after going through therapy and stuff like that, that one of the biggest signs for me was that I wasn't active anymore. The things that brought me joy as far as like my exercise regimen, exercising for me is playing softball. You know, you get your couple stretches in and stuff like that, and then you play a game, you have fun, right? But for me, like the onset of depression, it was like I stopped doing those things. And I love playing softball, like softball and volleyball, those two sports. I don't know which one is my favorite, but they are together, you know. And having a regular exercise regimen is actually very important for your mental health. Okay, so put something into your schedule. If you're already in a rut, try to start there. Just get up and get out, right? And what I want you to do is, if you're already in a rut, right, and you feel like you don't want to do it, you don't know where to start, right? Do the 2-minute rule. Or mine is 5 minutes. It's a 5-minute rule for me. I say even the things that I don't want to do that I need to get done, I'm going to do for 5 minutes. Anything. If I don't want to do it, but I know I need to get it done, I'm going to do it for 5 minutes. Because at the end of the week, I will have done it for 25 minutes or more. And that's a lot better than 0 minutes for the week. So just use the 5-minute rule. If you are not big on exercise, just get up and go for a 5-minute walk, right? And remember, like we talked about last week, like get up and take some water with you. Go out in nature if you can and go for a 5-minute walk. I bet you that 5 minutes turns to 10 or 15, right? And that's just one of the other things that I use to like get through different tasks is that 5-minute rule. And I might do a video on that too. But yeah, after your 5 minutes of getting up and getting active are done, you won't feel bad about stopping. If that's all the time that you have for it, if that's all the energy that you have for it, cool. But if you want to stay a little bit longer, even more cool, right? The point is to just get up, okay? And it's that works for me, okay? Now, we're going to touch on your sleeping habits as well. Like the experts say that you need to be sleeping between 7 and 9 hours a night. Again, I don't believe that I need all of those hours back to back. I do like to get somewhere around 10 hours a day in. But that might be 5 hours of sleep here. I might take a 2-hour nap and I might take another nap later on in the day. Because my team is international. So sometimes I'm up at 2-3 o'clock in the morning because it's the afternoon for them. And that throws off my sleep schedule. So I don't think I need like a solid 9 hours or whatever. I just like to get my hours in a 24-hour period. Okay. Oh, the other thing is your eating habits. Having healthier eating habits is very, very, very important. You know how we love serotonin? That's the happy drug, right? It's the one that your body naturally produces for you. You know that 90% of your body's serotonin is produced in your stomach, like in your gut, like having good gut health. So waking up first thing in the morning and drinking 8 ounces of water is going to significantly curb the effects that your body has when you're digesting food throughout the day, right? Having a diet that is very rich in vitamins and minerals from eating fruits and vegetables raw if you can. Like snacking on carrots is really good, right? Especially the sweet ones. But doing stuff like that is actually very good for you because you're increasing your gut health. Your gut health is going to help the rest of your body. Like if your gut is happy and it's producing more serotonin, then you're going to have more for your body to say, you know what, I'm happy, right? You can also give yourself rewards to increase serotonin and things like that. But if you eat a lot of junk food, if you eat a lot of fatty foods, if you eat a lot of like fried food, really anything, and it's so bad to say because I have a sweet tooth out of this world, but anything that's like white sugar or sugar, because you know sugar transfers into carbs and all of that stuff, it slows you down, you put on weight and things like that. But anything that has like a lot of refined sugar or just sugar in it, you want to kind of stay away from when you're trying to increase your productivity. I'm not saying to completely remove the things that you love from your diet, but what I am saying is that decreasing the amounts of bad things in your diet so that you can get a good, healthy, like habit formed regimen of productivity and of these spurts of just phenomenalness, because that's a word, phenomenalness. If you change your diet to increase these things and create new good habits and then slowly integrate back in some of the other things, it's not so bad, because you've already formed the good habits that you need. And that includes alcohols, pop, if y'all are in the South, soda. Just stay away from the stuff with empty calories and zero nutritional value, okay, essentially, right? One of the other things that can lead to like mental fatigue or the ruts is your water intake. Yeah, a lot of people don't take into consideration how much water they drink and how it contributes to different parts of their body. You can actually experience mental fatigue from being dehydrated. So remember, like, we are made up of like 70% water, right? If you are lacking in water, like I was telling you guys in the last video, when you first wake up in the morning, you thirsty as hell. You just want a little bit of water, right? You want a little something to drink. And it's because you've been asleep. So give your body the water, but start getting it in throughout the day. Okay, I think that's very important too. Let's touch back on another thing too. Like, one of the things that can help you get out of a rut too is just changing your environment. So you'll hear me talk about going on those walks quite often, because just getting a change of scenery is extremely important for your brain. Like, give your brain something else to process, give it something else to do. And going on nature walks and things like that is definitely helpful. Like, talking about the walks, going around outside and stuff like that, one of the analogies that was used in something that I was watching was, if you've ever gone to the zoo, you see the animals that are caged up and you see how lethargic they look and how much energy they look like they don't have, right? It's because they're not made to be in little boxes. So if you're always at work, always in front of your computer, always in your cubicle at work, always on the line, always in the same spot, you're not meant to sit in the same spot. You're meant to like roam free. So get up, get outside, and do something interesting, or go to a different gym. Maybe if you're exercising at home, maybe enlist one of your friends to exercise with you and go to their house from time to time to do it. Just changing your environment is going to make a significant difference in your results. Okay, because we want to make sure that we're lowering our stress and increasing our mental well-being. Okay, walking around the block is definitely sufficient. Another thing that can contribute negatively to being in a rut, if you're in one, is having the same schedule. You do need to change up your schedule, because it can become very mundane, very ordinary for you. It lacks excitement because you're constantly doing the same thing day in, day out, over and over and over. If you guys notice in my schedule video, and I'll link it like right there, in my schedule video, I actually show you guys my 7 days, but I only really have 2 days in my schedule that are exactly the same, and they're not back-to-back days, right? So that helps it breaks up the monotony. It gives you a little bit of something different to do, you know? So creating a schedule that is not identical, every day is not identical, is ideal. Okay, so that's something else that you want to think about when you're trying to stay out of a rut, get out of a rut. And if you do already have a very consistent schedule, go ahead and make some changes. Like, take a look at the video for scheduling and make changes to your schedule. In that video, there's a link in the description that gives you access to a spreadsheet, a Google spreadsheet that has 7 days on it, and it's 24 hours on every day. It even has like chores, your water regimen, like the amount of water you're drinking daily. And you can schedule out that 24 hours however you need to. The reason why I did 24 hours for the 7 days is so that you can literally schedule everything. Okay, so take a look at that, and you might want to use that as a guide to go through your schedule. And I create alerts and alarms on my little Alexa, and she helps me to stay on task. So if you're still working a 9 to 5, take a different route. Find more than one route to work. if you always go to one restaurant and order one thing, be adventurous one day, order something else. Like, don't take your lunch break at the exact same time every day if you can help it, right? Just different things like that. Try to do something different. Like, try to pick up a new hobby. That way, when you have your leisure time that you're putting into your schedule, you can maybe paint or learn to play an instrument, or like learn coding or graphic design or something. Pick up something else that you want to do, so when you have your leisure time and you're not being productive according to your mind's plan, right? You're still having fun. We talked about becoming extra productive last week. This week, the challenge is going to be to continue on with that productivity, but do more work on your schedule and incorporate in some genuine, like, time off, okay? Make sure that you're giving yourself some genuine relaxation time, so that when you do get back at it, you can go back full throttle, okay? Okay, so for the challenge for this week, I want you guys to make sure that you have 2 things done, okay? You need to do 2 schedules, and one is going to be like your alternative schedule, because you can flip-flop back and forth between the two. So you still have all of your, like, your must-do daily activities on it, but it's the transposed version of the first schedule, okay? The other schedule is going to be your everyday routine that you're going into, but make sure that in both of these, you write out your goals, and you make sure that you're putting time in your schedule to actually work on your goals. Your goals should be something measurable, something actionable, something that you can count, right? And there should definitely be actionable steps so that you can track your progress. So that's the challenge for this week. I want everybody to make sure that you guys have your schedules written out, and you have more than one schedule, just 2. I'm not saying like 10. Do 2, because I know some of you are overachievers. But 1 in 7 days, 24 hours, right? And I'll link the same document in the description of this video. So 7 days, 24 hours, map out everything, but then give yourself an alternative schedule where you maybe mix around a couple of the other days to break up the monotony in your schedule, to kind of keep you from getting in a rut, okay? But that's going to be the challenge for this week, you guys. I really, really, really want to see everybody achieve all of their goals. I really want you guys to just, like, I guess, thrive at an exceedingly high level for anything that you do. And I want to make sure that you're getting the tools and techniques that I use to see the success that I've seen. So that's our challenge. Make 2 schedules. Write out your daily routine, like your must need to be written down first. Every day that you have a must. If you work a 9 to 5, if you, like, pick the kids up from school, if you have specific date night dinner plans and you want to keep that as a regular thing in your schedule, write all of those things down first, and then start to integrate everything else in between, okay? But you need 2 versions of that so that you can flip-flop. If you do one for 2 weeks during the month and another one for the other 2 weeks, or you do them every other week, perfect. You'll still be able to get everything done that you've written down, but you'll also do it while you're breaking up the monotony. Don't forget to incorporate healthier eating habits, as well as a regular exercise routine and good sleeping habits, okay? Like, and if you've not already done so, take inventory of just your health habits now, okay? Now, creating a schedule is the first thing. The second thing that I want you to do is to come up with a minimum of 2 new habits that you want to create. A minimum of 2, and I'm going to say a maximum of 5, okay? Of just new habits that you want to create, either for health, wealth, or wellness, okay? And if you want to do 3, just do 1 for health, 1 for wealth, and 1 for wellness, and that'll be perfectly okay. But do a minimum of 2, okay? Those are the 2 challenges, or the 2 pieces to this week's challenge. And just like last week, we'll hop on Instagram and we'll take a look at and have the conversation about, like, what you came up with and how the productivity technique and incorporating it with fixing your schedule has helped you to become more productive and more motivated. When I started integrating these two things together, I started to see more success faster. But remember, when you're creating your schedule must include breaks, okay? And it could be breaks during the day, and it could be breaks during the week, where you have one day where you just go to work and you come home and you watch TV all day and eat snacks. Like, that's perfectly okay. I want everybody to understand that not being productive is good for your mental health. So do it, okay? But that is it. As always, I hope you guys are having an awesome and productive morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are. Go ahead and comment below. Let me know if you are going to take part in the Chrissy Pips Challenge week 2. And I want to talk to you guys on Friday, because remember, our lives on IG are Monday through Thursday. The ones on Friday are going to be 4-hour challenge recaps. But that's it for me, you guys. Hey, I love you guys. I hope you're having an awesome day. Bye.